Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. Guys, we're taking a look today at the Edmonton Oilers. We're hearing a little bit of rumors coming out of Edmonton. We'll be taking a look at the Oilers in this video. So let's get right into it. So the Edmonton Oilers have some news that we've been hearing about over the last couple of weeks. Some potential trades, some stuff that maybe is kind of lying under the weeds, especially with the Stanley Cup final just coming to a close. This stuff may come to the forefront just a little bit more. But let's get into the rumors around the Edmonton Oilers. So the big one we've been hearing is that this has to do with the expansion draft and the Seattle Kraken coming into the NHL. As the big rumor is that now teams are starting to become concerned that Seattle is going to take players from their expansion team and flip them in a trade. Now, specifically, you're looking at the Calgary Flames captain, Mark Giordano. He's got 2 years left at over $6 million on his cap hit. And he may go to the Seattle Kraken as a way for the Flames to alleviate some of their salary cap issues. There's only one problem. There seems to be a team in Alberta, just down the road from the Flames, that's also interested in the Flames captain, and that is Mark Giordano. So now the rumor is that the Seattle Kraken would take Mark Giordano in the draft, or in the expansion draft, and then flip him to the Edmonton Oilers for maybe a first and a second, or a second and a third, whatever the value would be. I think that's very interesting. This is kind of the Oilers' way of trying to maybe press the Flames into making another decision there, maybe forcing them to keep a guy like Giordano and expose somebody else. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is smoke and mirrors. I don't know if they're just throwing it out there as a threat. I don't know if someone's just creating this to make a storyline. I don't know what it is. But there is some validity to it because we've heard the other rumors about the Oilers looking to rebuild their defense. Especially if they want to, we've also heard rumors that they want to keep Tyson Barrie around. They're finishing up a deal to re-sign Adam Larson. So there is other deals here for the Oilers to kind of continue to keep their defense maybe going a little bit. Now, I think this stuff with Oscar Klefbom definitely adds fuel to the fire. Is there a situation where we see them maybe move out Klefbom's contract in order to bring in another defenseman? Now, a lot of people are saying just put him on LTIR. That may end up being what the Oilers do. The Oilers may just put him on LTIR and they just let it sit there. And especially because it is an injury, it may be kind of like a Johnny Boychuk situation with the Islanders, where you just end up eating it, and the salary doesn't count, but it's still on the roster. You still pay him, but it doesn't count against your salary cap. That may be something we see here. That's just something that further kind of complicates things. But the Oilers want to redevelop the blue line because that was their big issue last season. You look at who they've got on the blue line right now. You've got Darnell Nurse, right? You've got guys like Ethan Bear. And it kind of gets murky from there because you also have guys like Caleb Jones. Is Caleb Jones going to be in Edmonton? Is he going to go to Chicago with the potential of Duncan Keith coming back the other way? So Caleb Jones is kind of a name that you could throw in the mix, but is he going to be there in September? Do you see Philip Broberg coming to the NHL next season? That would be my assumption. We see him come in. What about a guy like Samorukov? Do we see him come in? Like, there are certain names in Edmonton that you kind of wonder, are we going to see them develop? A guy like Evan Bouchard, a perfect example as well. Are we going to see him continue to flourish and develop as a defenseman? Because now you've lost a guy like Klefbom. You may lose guys like Tyson Barrie. It seems like they're going to keep Adam Larson. But who else is coming in? We've heard the rumors about Duncan Keith as well. Like I just mentioned, Caleb Jones for Duncan Keith, potentially seeing some salary exchanged as well as potentially some draft picks for the future Hall of Famer in Duncan Keith. He wants to live closer to the West Coast, as his, I believe, a child is in Vancouver right now, having some issues right now with medical issues, so he wants to be closer to his children. He's obviously not the defenseman that he was, so there is some complications there with his salary cap hit. But is it worth it for the Oilers to bring in a guy like Keith? They've also looked at Mark Giordano, like I mentioned. But we've also heard rumors that they may just look at internal moves, keeping guys like Larson, keeping guys like Barry, and then bringing up guys like Philip Broberg and Samorukov to just add to the blue line. And I think that's something we could definitely see the Oilers do. I think the Oilers are in a spot now. You've locked up Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at a sweetheart contract at just over $5 million per season. There is a lot of duration on that deal, but I don't think Ken Holland's too worried about that. He's got to survive the next 8 years in Edmonton, so that's the least of his concerns. But overall, I think this is a great chance for the Oilers here. I think there's some rumors here. Some make more sense than others. Does the Duncan Keith to Edmonton seem like a foregone conclusion? I think both teams are kind of waiting for the expansion draft at this point, because it's one more defenseman that the Oilers have to protect, which means they may lose another defenseman that they may not want to, and I think that is part of the concern. So maybe they wait till after the expansion draft and then they make this deal, or just because the time has elapsed, maybe both teams or one of the two teams decides maybe I don't like this deal as much as I did back a month or two ago, and this doesn't end up happening at all. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Which defenseman would you want to see come to Edmonton? Because you're probably not going to get all three. Would you rather see the Calgary Flames captain Mark Giordano through the expansion draft route? Would you rather see Duncan Keith in a trade with the Blackhawks? Or would you rather see the return of Tyson Barrie, the guy that you know fits in Edmonton? Do you want to see the Oilers lock him up long term? Let me know in the comment section down below which of those three you would like to see in the orange and blue next year. And if you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL and more videos just like this one, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.